I'm Olga.
I'm Robert.
I'm Adriana. I'm doing my speech on multitasking and driving. The backstory on why I chose this topic is just because I look around when I'm driving and I see that more than half of the people that are driving are either on their phones, eating their lunch, doing their makeup, and people don't really realize that they're swerving in and out of lanes and causing accidents, blowing through stop signs. I just don't understand why they can't wait until they get to their parking lot or their destination to do those things. You know, waiting to eat their burger 5 minutes later, it's not going to make a difference, and doing your makeup isn't going to help you get there any quicker. So over 2.5 million people are involved in car-related accidents each year. 1.6 of those same accidents are because of distracted drivers, whether it's texting and driving, eating and driving, attending your kids and driving. That's almost half of those accidents. Half of those accidents could have been prevented. Half of those injuries, fatalities, all of those car damages, expenses, all of that could have been prevented if they would have waited the extra 5-10 minutes to get to their destination. So just to put in perspective, the dangers somebody puts themselves in, the average speed is about 55 miles an hour in a car, and our response time to text or to read the message usually takes about 5 seconds. So they're traveling a football field length within those 5 seconds, and a lot can happen. Somebody can unexpectedly hit the brakes or make a sudden stop, and all that could be prevented if that person were to wait until they got home to respond to their best friend or whoever it is that they're trying to talk to. And 5 seconds may seem like a safe rule, when you're picking food off the ground, but it's a lot of time when you're trying to focus on the people around you and focus on what you're doing and paying attention to the road. My mom has personal experience with distracted driving. A couple of years ago, she was involved in a bad car accident, leaving her with several back injuries, herniated and bulging disc in both her lower and upper back, and an overnight stay in the hospital, and an endless amount of chiropractic visits because of a young teen who decided to be careless and text and drive. Because of my mom's situation, I try not to use my phone while I'm driving just because I know the kind of damage I could do to somebody and to myself. And even though texting and driving is a major distraction, eating and drinking as well behind the wheel is just as dangerous. According to research, drivers who snack and drink while driving are 3.5 times more likely to get involved in a car crash. Eating and drinking while driving may seem like it's simple, but when you wanted to dig into the greasy burger, you have to unwrap it and use napkins to try not to get the grease to cover your clothes and get all over your car, and try to hold the burger all with one hand. It doesn't seem so simple when you put it that way. That's why it's so dangerous. The driver's trying to do all these things at once and steer and look at the road while trying to pay attention to where they're going. According to distraction.gov, in 2014, 3,179 people were killed and 431,000 were injured in car crashes involving distracted drivers. With growing technology and more people having cell phones, the numbers, I can only imagine, have more than doubled in only 2 years. CNN study shows that if you try to do 2 things at once, you actually decrease your efficiency in doing these things because you're trying to use different parts of your brains at the same time. When multitasking, it lowers your efficiency in these tasks by 37%. So essentially, when you're trying to text and drive or eat and drive, you're becoming a worse driver. And actually, only 2% of the population has a genetic gift that can successfully multitask by not affecting their tasks. And the scary thing is that a lot more than those 2% are trying to multitask when they're trying to drive or do other things. Putting all of these things into perspective, it's really important that you just put the phone down and just wait the extra 5 minutes to do what you're trying to do just to get to your destination safely, because you can save your life and other people's lives.